Understanding what I'm about to teach you in this video is going to be the difference between making a lot of money or making a little bit of money. Let's get into it and I'll show you why. Hey everybody, how's it going? So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name's Michael Guerrero. I used to work for a big marketing agency that served Fortune 500 companies. Now I consult and I pretty much help out small and medium-sized business owners and put out YouTube content teaching people what it takes to actually make it and grow within the business environment and how to market and do business like the Fortune 500. So in this video, what I want to talk to you about is terminology and understanding what the differences are when it comes to certain words that are used within business or in any industry. I mean, if you were to go to a hospital and a doctor says we have to perform cardiac bypass, that means one thing to somebody who understands medical terms. However, if you don't understand medical terms, he may just come in and use something more simple like, we're going to go ahead and have to do heart surgery. So you have to understand the differences within the words and the terms and how they're being used, because at the end of the day, this is also a way that people can use this information to gauge exactly where you are as far as your education level, status, whatever the case may be. One of the things that's made famous from people that are, let's just say, from New York City, such as myself, is a lot of people like to say they're from New York, but then again, people who are from the city take offense to those who lie, etc. So they'll start testing you and they'll be like, oh yeah, well, what part? Oh, I'm from the Bronx, or I'm from Brooklyn, or I'm from here. Okay, what street were you on? Oh yeah. Did you know that coffee shop or that deli? Yeah. Where are you from? Oh, you're from Queens, or okay. And now you start clicking and you're able to validate one another and give each other credibility for the reputation and the experiences that you both have shared. This is the same thing within the medical field, the law field, or any field in general. Now, when you get into business, right, you're going to learn certain words, there's acronyms, etc. And if you stay to the end of the video, there'll be a great surprise in it for you as far as how you can utilize all these things in your favor for when you go to the bank to get a loan, or when you go to do deals and put the deals together. You can use some of the words I'm about to teach in here and terms and phrases to help you and give you leverage within the conversation, because at the end of the day, the way you win in business is by having the most leverage. So let's get into it. The first word or the first phrase or whatever that I want to cover in here is something called a fiduciary responsibility. A fiduciary responsibility is when someone, such as a banker or a, what's it called? Someone as a attorney, they have how do I say this? A responsibility to do right by you legally. So when they have a fiduciary responsibility, let's say that the bank that you're going to get a business loan from has certain products that they sell. They call their loans products. And so what happens is that the people that are speaking to you, they also get what's called basis points, or sometimes interest. However, they collect a commission on how the size of a loan or the interest amount that goes out. Now, because the bank itself has its own products, if they don't have a fiduciary responsibility, they're not inclined to show you the other products that might benefit you. And what I mean by that is, when they have a fiduciary responsibility, they have to show you the plethora of options that you have at your disposal, that they have access to, in order to get you the best deal, the best rate, for the best time length, so that you too can not only grow your business, but be successful and not have to pay these crazy payments or have such a high interest rate, and everybody wins. Now that comes with a fiduciary responsibility. So remember this the next time you speak to an attorney, or the next time you speak to someone at a bank. And before you even start the conversation, ask them, question, does your bank and its employees have a fiduciary responsibility to those they serve? And the answer is either going to be yes or no. From there, you could go ahead and enter into the conversation if they say yes, because, well, at least they confess to you that, well, they are looking out for your best interests. So if they screw you over down the line, whatever the case may be, if that were to happen, you can fall back on this. And of course, they should have signs or something within their SOP or paperwork if you want to take it a step further to see if they do have a fiduciary responsibility. Now, something that a lot of people don't do in business, and I've seen this a lot, and the only reason why I think it's funny because people who major in business hear about it all the time, people who major in marketing hear about it all the time, but those who actually get into business don't really do something that's called a SWOT analysis. Now, SWOT analysis is something that's very basic. And what it does is it measures your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. What I mean by this is it takes a position down of where or not a position, but a snapshot of where the company is currently when it comes to its strengths, its weaknesses, the opportunities that are residing in the future, and the threats that could come up along the way or that already exist. So let's say you are I don't know, manufacturing company, and some of your strengths are is that, you get stuff out the door quickly, you work well with logistics companies, etc. But your weaknesses are that your technology or your staff is a little bit older, so they don't move as quickly as they could. And if the technology was upgraded, you could do things better. However, the technology is downgraded, so that could be a weakness. And then of course, opportunities, there's somebody that could possibly invest in the business to help you get that piece of machinery or the equipment or the technology to go ahead and succeed and grow your business from there. Or there could be threats. There's somebody else coming in, starting their own manufacturing company similar to yours, and they might actually start taking business away from you because they have all this cool machinery and technology, etc. That helps them do things extremely quickly, so on and so forth. So that's something that's very important. And here's why. Because when you go and do the SWOT analysis and you look at your opportunities, it really gives you it's like taking a magnifying glass to your business. You get to see where your strong points are, your weak points are, where you can grow, where you should look out for, what you should look out for going down the line. So if you have a marketer, or if you're working with a marketer, or if you're working with a business consultant, whatever, I would strongly suggest that you do a SWOT analysis to help you in your business. Now, moving forward, a lot of people are getting into the e-commerce space, whether that's because you're doing drop shipping or you are creating your own product and selling it on your own, whatever the case may be. In business, there's something called an MVP. Now, an MVP is a minimum viable product. It's like the simplest version of your product that you could get out to market so that you could prove give proof of concept that people are willing to spend money on it, invest in you and your business, and continue to purchase it, or at least tell others to purchase that item or product from you. So this is something that people don't normally do because they not reside, but they fall back into this like perfection phase where everything has to be perfect. And it's like, just get the freaking thing out the door, because if it doesn't get out the door and you don't know if it's going to succeed, and you put it out there without first testing it, it could flop and you're going to waste a lot of time and a lot of money. So the last thing that I want to say here is actually two things. One is your net profit margin. That's something important that you as a business owner should understand, is what is your net profit margin? Not your net margin, your net profit. How much profit are you keeping after the business? And then, of course, this one's a great one. When you're looking for investors, there's multiple ones out there, but look for something called an angel investor. You can go ahead and Google that. Angel investor is pretty much a high net worth individual who provides startup capital for small businesses. Great people to work with. They have a lot of connections, and they could put you in contact with a lot of other people as well if they're the right angel investor. So there's that. Then you have venture capital, which is another good thing. And now with venture capital, angel investing, as well as going to banks, to get an SBA loan or whatever the case may be, don't forget, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, to ask them if they have a fiduciary responsibility. And then, of course, if you go to the bank, here's something that I learned from somebody named Dan Pena. Whoever you're speaking to, I want you to ask them what is their lending limit. And then from there, ask them if that lending limit is secured or unsecured. Reason being is once they say yes to having a fiduciary responsibility, the next thing you want to know is how much money can they give you. If they only give you, let's say, $100,000 unsecured, and they can give you $200,000 secured, there's a big difference there. Are you getting more money because it's secured? Yes. However, the difference here is unsecured dollars aren't backed the same way as secured dollars or loans, etc. So when it comes to having to pay certain things back, there's certain things in there that you don't necessarily have to pay back as far as a business. If your business is to go under or go down, they write it off as a loss. If it's secured, meaning they're going to have some type of collateral, the bank can essentially take things from you to make up for the secured amount that you said that you were going to secure, and the amount that you borrowed. So they can do that quite honestly. So make sure that, one, you understand what their lending limit is. Two, if it's secured and unsecured and what those limits are. And then normally what you want to do is go for unsecured. Yes, it's going to probably be less money. However, if things go belly up, this will protect you in the long run. So I hope this information was helpful. Please, 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 if you think this was helpful, smash that like button. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. And if you think this video could help somebody that has a dream of starting their own business or becoming an entrepreneur, please share this with them, because I'm going to be putting a series together going over more terms and things you should know when it comes to not only getting in business, but leadership and marketing as well. So till next time, my friends, take care. Have a great day. Bye.